sunshine. Welcome back to my channel, Alex in the Sunlight. I'm Alex and I'm so happy to see you. Please like this video, comment down below any requests or ruminations you may have, subscribe so we can spend more time together, and please consider becoming a patron over on my Patreon page. There you'll find extra goods, discounts on readings with me, and it's a great way to help support this channel, and I really appreciate it. Okay, so the purpose of today's video is to gain some insight, find out, figure out what's going on with your finances, your money matters, your prosperity in your life. Okay, we've got 4 groups here. Group number 1, Jade. Group number 2, Carnelian. Group number 3, Blue Goldstone. And group number 4, Pyrite. So if you've chosen your pile, that's totally fine, but if you could just humor me and close your eyes, take a deep breath in through the nose, filling the chest and the belly with air. And as you exhale, drop into this moment and ask your spirit guides, your angels, or even your higher self to aid you in choosing the correct pile for you, so that when you open your eyes, the one you are drawn to first is the right one. Okay? All right, let's get into it. Hey, group number 1, those of you who chose Jade, it's actually really appropriate that you chose Jade because Jade is a healing stone. And you guys, I feel like the overall message for you, the advice Spirit is giving you, is to make healing your mindset around money the priority right now, because I feel like that is what is keeping you from manifesting the amount of money that you want or need. You guys may have been raised to think that money is wrong, or the source of all evil or something, or maybe you have been fine with money, but like you're trying to manifest money from more personal places, like maybe you're sick of the job that you're at and you're not really sure how you'll make money otherwise. But whatever the situation is, if you guys feel blocked, which I think a lot of you do, if you feel blocked, it's due to your mindset. And I'm not saying you got there on your own, like there was no reason for you to feel these things or think these things, but you're holding yourself back with these thoughts. So something has to change. The first card you pulled is the Green Man from the Wildwood Tarot deck, which in the traditional tarot is the Emperor in reverse. So you may have some trouble with authority in your life. Either, like I said before, you're at a job that you really can't stand, and maybe you have like a really annoying boss or a manager that is just abusing their power. There might be like uneven power dynamics in your life, whether it's with like somebody who literally controls your money, like at work, or maybe at home, especially if you live with your parents. There may be some stuff going on where you feel powerless in this situation. Another thing I feel is that for some of you guys, like I said before, you're like, you don't want to keep making money from the same things that you've been doing. You want to have money be something that you can actually enjoy making, right? And that could be where the blockages is coming from, is like you don't like your job, or you don't like the workplace in general. I feel like you guys are very creative people, so maybe, you want to make money from your creative endeavors, but you lack the discipline or the authority over yourself to really make that happen. And what I mean by make it happen isn't that you don't have the talent or you don't have the ability. It's more so like when you go into being self-employed, you've got to have a plan in place. When you go to a job, even if you don't like it there's like a comfort zone that you can get into, because you know when to come in, you know when to leave, you know when to take your breaks. there are a set of, to-do lists or whatever it is that you've got to do that day, and then you're out and you can check out. When you're self-employed, it's you having to do all of that for yourself, and it can be a little bit difficult. It's just a learning curve, you know what I mean? So I would say, like, whether or not you are at a job that you dislike, or you're trying to strike out on your own, or there are disproportionate power dynamics at play, I would say what you really need to do at this time is think of the emperor upright. So start being that authoritative figure in your own life, and it'll force people to kind of switch up how they are around you, or switch up how they communicate with you in that way, because it's no longer you're looking to somebody else to figure out what you're supposed to do that day. Like, now you got your own routine, your own set of goals and things like that. And if you find self-discipline difficult, like I said, it's a learning curve. Just seek out that knowledge. Whether it's going on YouTube and like looking up, there's tons of videos on self-discipline. A lot of them are very informative. There's tons of videos on how to create a routine for yourself, get a daily planner, things like that, because I feel like even if you still are at a job that you dislike, or even if you are around people who feel like they can abuse their stance in your life, especially if you are like, if you feel broke right now, right? I feel like there's a lot of insecurity in the world, and people really can fall into this trap of feeling like they're better than if they have something over you. And I think a lot of people use money in that way. They feel lack in other areas of their life. So if they see you're down and out, and they have a lot of issues, it can be easy for them to just, think that they can exert their opinions on you, or unsolicited advice and things like that, because it's like they think they know more than you, or they think they've got something over you, not realizing we're all on this journey, together, and we're at different stages of our journeys, and you never know what's up ahead of you. I feel like you guys have good things up ahead of you. You just have some muddy waters to wade through first, and getting yourself kind of like out of the mud and out of the negativity. But I understand that can be difficult if you feel powerless, or if you feel like people are exerting their power over you. So, like I said, create routines and cultivate a sense of self-discipline as as a practice of self-love. Like, yeah, I woke myself up early today, and I took myself to bed early that night because I knew that I wanted to get things done, and I wanted to feel fresh and alive when I did it. And even if you are still in the situation that you dislike, you will start changing your mindset around it. You will be preparing yourself for a different situation. That's kind of how manifestation works. You know what I'm saying? The second card you pulled is the Nine of Arrows, or the Nine of Swords upright. So yeah, you guys, you've got some negative thought patterns going on. You may be, actually losing sleep over this. You may feel a lot of pressure. You may feel very scared. You're probably feeling very scared around money, because you're in this situation. You're in this situation that you don't see a way out of, but the way out is through. And if you're spiraling, if you are constantly going over worst case scenarios in your head, you are not doing yourself any favors. And I'm not telling you that you don't have a reason to be anxious or even depressed, but don't let those reasons become excuses to keep yourself in such a low state of mind, right? It's really difficult for me when I have to tell people this kind of stuff, because I am not trying to tell you that, it's like it's all in your head and just get over it and all of that kind of thing. I'm not. It is not easy. We live in a really we're living in a really intense time. It's been intense. If you are watching this in like certain areas, this the the price of rent is going up, and trying to pay your bills, all of that kind of thing, it can really make you feel like you're in quicksand, right? And then on the other side, I feel like I said, some of you might be at home right now because you can't afford your own place or something. And if you have family members who, mean well, but they're constantly berating you about your money situation as though you don't want things to be different when you most certainly do, it can just lead to this like you just feel like you're living in some kind of a nightmare. But the interesting thing about this card is that in this deck, the Wildwood Tarot deck, it's called dedication. So I feel like the positive side of this, if you can believe that there is one, is that it shows how much you care and how diligent you are being about trying to better yourself and trying to better your situation. I don't feel like any of you guys are lazy or that you aren't capable. Like, you are fully capable. You're just going through a rough patch right now. And I just want you to understand that this is a moment in time. This is a moment amongst many moments in your life that there will be. This isn't going to define your whole life, and this most certainly does not define you. Okay? So even if it's to me, I feel like some of the best medicine is finding a quiet space in nature to where you can be away from all of that stuff. Go somewhere to a free park and do things for free, like especially going out in nature, or like going to like a free museum or something like that, and enjoying yourself can really shift your vibration in a way that could surprise you. Because I feel like that's another thing. When you're so anxious about money and you're so scared about money, the last thing you want to do is like treat yourself or do something nice to yourself, even though that's probably what you should be doing, because you're too busy worrying about how much it's going to cost, rightfully so, right? So go do something for free so you can show yourself, like, I can have a good time, and take your mind off of some of these fears, because they're keeping you kind of landlocked, and it's not helping. But like I said, I get it. I know why. But I just want you guys to be able to find some kind of peace, because you deserve it. The next card you pulled is the Ancestor, or the Hierophant, upright. So with this, I feel like maybe there's a couple of things. One, I feel like, yeah, you might have been raised maybe in a religious household, or maybe you've just been told, like, money is the root of all evil or something. So you could possibly have subconscious beliefs that are holding you back from manifesting the money that you want, if you don't really feel like money is a good thing. I feel like for some of you, with these two being here and this right in the middle, I feel like you're a bit torn, like, with this authority in your life that's like abuse of power, and then the Hierophant here. Like, I feel like some of you are like wanting to break away from these beliefs and these mindsets around money, but the way that you were raised, or what you've been taught, or what you've been led to believe, kind of like makes you question it. Like, you're almost there, but then that's also causing a turmoil, because you're just, like I said, landlocked. And it's kind of just like really bothering you, like tormenting you, like, I want to be able to thrive and make money and be abundant and from things that I really like to do, but everybody tells me, you need a good job. You can't just go be whatever you want to be. There are responsibilities. And I'm not saying that any of that is like inherently wrong. It's like, yeah, sometimes you align with certain people, places, or things, a lot of the times at a job, that teaches you something that can actually help you with your creativity or whatever the case is. But I just feel like you've got this dreamer spirit, and then there are these thoughts that kind of hurt that spirit, right? And then for others of you, or maybe for all of you, I feel like you would benefit from actually finding like minded people or finding a mentor, even who could kind of teach you another way. Study. I would definitely recommend. There's so many, like, there's such a wealth of information on the internet if you use it wisely. And specifically with YouTube, if you're like me, I really like watching people talk about these things, or like have like a graph or a chart or something in front of me that I can watch. But there's plenty of articles as well. Just start learning about money, start learning about finances. It might make you a little bit more confident about it, and that will also change your vibration, right? Like I said before, going out and doing things for free, not because you're thinking to yourself, I can't afford to do anything else, but because you're just showing yourself another way. Find people, or find a person who can teach you another way to look at money, and who can help you to be more money savvy. Okay? Like I said, it'll shift your vibration and help you to gain a little bit more confidence. If you can find someone in person who you can talk to about these things, who can teach you, awesome, great. If there are books that you are able to have access to, great. But like I said, if all you have access to is the internet, that's great too. Start just teaching yourself and learning about money and finances. Things that you never even thought about before. Go ahead and learn about it, because it'll just make you feel more confident about it. And that's what we really need from you guys, okay? The next card you guys pulled is coherence from the Sacred Geometry Oracle deck. So to me, it's definitely appropriate. It's going hand in hand, I think, with this Nine of Arrows. It's talking about finding some kind of bridge between your head and your heart. So I feel like with this Nine of Arrows, it's kind of saying, like, you may have some dissonance. There may be some thoughts that aren't lining up with your desires, and that's causing you to be in this position where you just feel like you don't know what to do. So coherence is saying, okay, get clear about what it is that you need as well as what you want, right? And find a way to figure out where those two things intersect, right? Okay, so say you're at a job that you dislike, or say you're unemployed, and you are a creative person, so you want to make money from your creative endeavors, but you don't know where to start, or it'll take too much time, and you really need money right now or something, right? So you are thinking it's an either or type of situation. Either you stay at this horrible job you don't like, or you follow your dreams and you're broke. What if there was an in between? What if you could find a job that you actually do like? When I said that, did you feel some resistance to it? Do you even believe there is a job that you could like? What if you just put that out to the universe? Like, help me to find a job I actually enjoy in the meantime, until I can, make all of the money and really level up my finances from the things that I love to do the most. Right? So it's just merging, it's integrating, it's finding a clarity and a coherence amongst your priorities, your necessities, and your dreams. Okay? But the card says, the frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. Exactly. So search for where your dreams and your practical necessities intersect. There's got to be a way. Okay? I don't believe it is our natural state to be in lack. I don't believe that the universe is finite. So when we get ourselves into these situations, like I said, we're meant to move through, and there is a way. There is a path through. The next card you pulled is healing, right? You guys need some major healing in your life, in your connection to your finances. Because to me, money, like I said, is energy. It's really, I really believe, like, some people, they've got their money all down, but then their love life is looking crazy. Or sometimes people have a really, loving, healthy relationship with their friends, and then they're at odds ends with their families. Or, sometimes people are assured about their passion and they know what they want to do, and then others, they're like, I have absolutely no idea. We all have our cross to bear. It's just hard. It's everything, all pain is hard, but it's just when it comes to money, it's like it's that much harder because it has to do with, your livelihood. So I feel like money matters. A lot of people need healing when it comes to that, because it's dealing with how you move and survive in this world. It really does. And it's such a powerful energy that gets misused and misunderstood. So, you are not the only one who needs healing in this area. But I think going back to what I said before, like finding quiet places in nature, especially, like, I feel like a lot of you guys, you need to do things alone sometimes. Like, try to find some alone time where you can be with your own thoughts instead of being influenced by what everybody else is saying or thinking. Because I think that's something too, is like money is simultaneously something that doesn't get talked about enough, but the ways in which it is talked about are so vague and so grandiose. Sometimes it's like very hard to find the reality, the clarity in there. Like, I feel like it's either, people talk about how, they're broke, or people talk about how rich they are, and there's no, like, can we just talk about our relationship to this energy exchange? You know what I'm saying? So find some quiet places in nature where you can be with your own thoughts and your own perspective on things. Like I said, be your own authoritative figure. Another thing I'm hearing too, this is just for some of you, but if you are eating things that make you sick, try your best to knock it off, because having inflammation in the body also causes inflammation in the brain, and that could be exacerbating these anxious thoughts and these nightmares that you could be having. Is like, if your body is also out of whack, then it's much harder for your mind to find some kind of peace. But the card says, the frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. Right. Connect your head and your heart. And also, like I said, get educated, start studying. Educate yourself on this stuff. Educate yourself on your finances. Just find some mentorship, even if that's, a person who is an expert on the subject on the internet. Like, those types of things can really bring an equilibrium. And the healing that you are needing to undergo, that I feel like you already have begun, even if it's not readily recognizable to you, is deeply emotional. But it's also, I feel like, it can be sped along, or it can be helped along by focusing on your intellect as well. I just think that knowledge is definitely power. And when you know better, you do better. So I feel like that will also facilitate your healing. Okay? And the last card you pulled is Morrigan. Death and Magic in reverse. This is what she looks like upright. So I feel like I said just now, this healing is already begun, whether or not you are aware of it. But I feel like with this Nine of Swords here, you just may be clutching and holding on to these negative thought patterns around your finances, and there is a natural death and rebirth that is waiting to happen that you could possibly be resisting with your thoughts. So, like I said, I'm not here to tell you that, like, it's all in your head and you don't have any reason to have these thoughts. I'm just telling you that it would behoove you to find some kind of a way to transmute those thoughts. Maybe, when you have a negative thought about money, try and challenge it in some way by just saying, I disagree, actually, in the moment, in your head. Like, if you think to yourself, like, I'm broke as a joke, then you can have a simultaneous thought that's like, that's actually not correct. Okay, let's see what it says in the book. Magic is everywhere and in all aspects of life, including death, dying, decay, and what is dark and hidden deep within our very natures. Yet, in our modern culture, we spend so much time in denial, concocting ways to avoid death, refusing to allow nature to be true. We've lost so much wisdom as a result. You're being invited to address the areas in your life that no longer serve and that need to die, without a promise of what will take its place. Do you need to walk away from someone, a way of behaving or thinking? Like the caterpillar who has no idea how to be a butterfly, you must surrender to the process of metamorphosis. You must make room for the miracle while at the same time not demanding certainty. The magical death goddess, Morrigan, offers you the alignment task of self inquiry. What death are you resisting right now? What darkness do you need to bring to awareness? How has fear ruled your choices? Who could you be if you had the courage to look at life on life's terms? Your magic is so much stronger than you think. You can do this. Your dreams depend on it. Morrigan will help. Morrigan will be with you every step of the way. Wow, I really couldn't have said it better. I really couldn't have said it better, you guys. Good things are waiting for you on the other side of this challenge. And I feel like if you let this natural death happen, if you let go of the crazy power dynamics in your life, if you let go of the self-doubt, self-deprecation, if you let go of the constant spiraling, the constant barrage of negative thoughts that are, attacking your own mind, if you try a new way, or just seek help from people who can teach you a new way, you can begin to heal, and your whole mindset around money will change, and therefore your finances, everything will change for the better. I promise you. Okay, that's all I've got for you, group number 1. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. I really appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye. Hey, group number 2, those of you who chose carnelian. Okay. So what I'm seeing for you guys is very interesting, because I feel like a lot of you have money. And I feel like you are questioning where you're getting it from right now. I feel like maybe for some of you, you've had a change of heart. Like, you are coming to a new way of being, specifically when it comes to your finances, but I feel like just with your life in general and your career. I think some of you want to change your career, or change your views on things, or change your connection with money. Like, I feel like some of you are established, but now you feel different. Like, the person that you were when you established yourself is not who you are right now. So I feel like a personal transformation has happened, and that obviously, that's your whole life. It has to do with your whole life. But I feel like when we change in such a drastic way, or in such a profound way, how we view money, or how we want to make money, also changes. I feel like for some of you guys, you looked at success much differently than you do now. I feel like maybe you were going the more traditional route, feeling like having, an established job, like something that people ask you, what do you do? And you tell them and they're like, oh, okay, nice. Things like that. I feel like there's a lot of very creative energy here. So I feel like some of you were always artists, you were always creatives, but maybe that wasn't the path you chose right away. And so now you're kind of like remembering your passions or remembering who you really are, and you want to step forth with that and use that as your form of income, right? Making money doing things that actually align with what you feel your life purpose is or what your passions are. So the first card you've pulled is the Six of Bows or the Six of Wands in reverse, which is the abundance card. And in reverse, I don't feel like it's any less abundant. I feel like it's just like I said, you're changing your views on success. You no longer think the same way about it. Now you're kind of coming to your own version of success. Like, for example, this doesn't have to be what it is, but for example, maybe some of you know, grew up in or have been working in the city, and like you've been really just successful working in the city or in some kind of metropolis, and now you find yourself being called to nature. you know Maybe you've been living in some kind of penthouse or like just a nice apartment, and now you're kind of feeling like you would love a nice little cottage with a yard, or you find yourself stopping on your way to work, walking on the sidewalk or what have you, and you look up at the sky and you're just like wondering what else is out there. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm very excited for you guys, because I feel like there might be some doubt, there might be some trepidatiousness. You might have told people about this and they may have scoffed at you and told you, like, why would you leave such a great job, or why would you do something different? Like, you that sounds crazy. Or even if you aren't as established as I feel, in your own head, maybe if you aren't as established, but you've still tried to express this, like, or maybe you debuted a kind of project or something and it didn't get the reaction that you were expecting or that you wanted, so it kind of shot your confidence a little bit. uh I understand and I empathize and sympathize with that. I just don't think that momentary lapse in self-confidence is going to stop you. I think this change is underway, and you are, like I said, you have a different view on your how you want to manifest prosperity in your life. And I feel like you want to involve more people, but you've just got to find the right people. But yeah, I'm feeling like some of you guys are wanting to be a little bit more philanthropic. I feel like some of you guys are wanting to be more inclusive, and just like there's lots of color here, and I'm feeling like that's this color is new. Like, maybe you're coming from like where everything was black, white, and gray, and now you're just like seeing color everywhere. And if people in your current situation have been doubting you or not giving you the response that you need, it's not because you are wrong. It's just because they are still in black and white and you have emerged and come out in color, right? So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't let that discourage you. Your new views on success are correct because they're your own. All right? The next card you pulled is the Forest Lovers, or in the traditional tarot, the Lovers. And I feel like you could actually be in a loving relationship, but I also feel like this has to do with just like self-love, and also, like I said, new beginnings, and coming to a place where you are confident about this new beginning, and you are getting clear about what it is that really makes you happy, what makes you feel fulfilled, what's going to make you feel whole. you know what do you want your life to look like, right? I'm seeing like I keep seeing like a home. Like, I feel like, you guys are wanting to switch up where you live or how you live, even if you don't want to leave the place that you're currently at. Maybe you're kind of thinking of redecorating, or like you want to bring in more plants. Maybe you want a pet, or maybe you have just met someone and they are also bringing this change out in you. But if you look at this card, they're standing by a tree and there's these flowers down here. I feel like I said, you were coming from a place of black, white, and gray, and now you are really noticing the colors more. You were like stopping to listen to the birds, and you feel more connected to nature. And so that it may be calling to you, you know what I mean? But either way, whatever it is, I feel like this is you coming to a more harmonious place within yourself and realizing a newer, truer dream to go after, And so it just will manifest itself in your career and your life. Like, money is energy, and it's such a big part of our lives because it has to do with our livelihood. It has to do with our survival and how we move through life. So I just feel like this is a huge life change for you, but it's going to manifest itself through your work, because I feel like your work will align more with who you actually are and your passions. It's not just about a good job anymore. It's about, a calling, a vocation. Do you know? The next card you pulled is the Hooded Man, or the Hermit. So you guys are going to need to, or maybe this has already begun, go within yourself, get introspective. This is a really positive spread. I feel very good vibes from you guys. You just might need to spend some alone time so that you can really process this transformation. It can be very exciting and very uplifting, but if it goes too fast and you don't really get clear about your intentions and your goals, it can feel a little bit overwhelming, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed and feel like you have to pull back. So just preemptively take time to spend alone, where you can figure out who you are now, because you've changed. So you need to spend some time looking within and really get to know yourself all over again. Learn. Like I said, if you have been living in a city and you are feeling called to the country, or feeling called to nature, or places that have more trees, or whatever it is, learn about it. Take a trip. Maybe if you are able, take a trip alone, so that you can really gain a sense of your own likes and dislikes, like relearn your tastes, because it'll honestly be time well spent. Okay. The next card you pulled from the Sacred Geometry Oracle deck is Belief. So I feel like I said, I'm getting such good vibes from this. But like I also said, you may be in a position where, you are new, but you are still in an old environment, and you may feel like some self-doubt. People could be questioning your newfound state of being and way of thinking. So spirit is just asking you to believe in this way that you feel now. Really believe in yourself, believe in your gifts, believe in your talents. You can do it. You do not have to keep doing the same thing that you've been doing, especially when it doesn't align with what you want anymore. Okay, so believe that you can do this. This is the number 11. Like, when this shows up, it's like this is divinely guided. You are meant to go on this new journey. You're meant to go on this new path. So believe that you can do it, because you can. Okay? But the card says, the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents, and a strong connection to source. Right. So maybe some of you, like I said in the beginning, have always been this creative person, or have always had a passion for something that you just kind of maybe developed in childhood, and then just it slowly became less and less of a priority because you were doing all of this other stuff, and then you established yourself in this one way, and now you're kind of recalling those old loves or those old passions and realizing, like, yeah, this is actually one of my gifts, or this is actually something that I've always loved doing. And so, you can make you maybe feel like, well, can I even really do that anymore? Or things like that. Spirit is telling you, yes, you can. Okay. So really do not lose sight of that. You've got to believe in yourself. Okay, because you are worthy of believing in. The next card you pulled is Tantric Journey. So to me, this is about expansion. And if with this Lover's card, if you do have a partner and that partner is like supportive and like, I feel like, yeah, you guys, for those of you who are partnered, like this is a very harmonious relationship. And then for those of you who aren't, this is about the relationship you have to yourself. But either way, use it is it would be beneficial for you to explore tantric practices that drop you into your body and expand your mind, get you to feel in different ways, explore in different ways, right? And kind of renew your sense of self through this transformation, through going on an expansive journey, whether that's like, through breath work or what have you. Go ahead and Google Tantra and and research. But the card says, the frequency of tantric journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with another. Right. So through those experiences, you can expand your mind and kind of, to me, I keep feeling like you guys are going to recall things. Like you will go back to your true nature and realize like, oh, this is what has been inside of me this whole time. So it's not actually that new. It's just more so like I feel new because I haven't explored this aspect of myself in so long, and you will discover aspects that you didn't even realize were there. So like I said, do some research, especially through like yoga texts, and like yoga teachers that talk about tantra and tantric practices. Do your research, and like it said, this can be done with yourself, and I encourage you to, or with another if you are in a couple, or if you just find yourself with partners that you trust, whatever. But I just feel like it'll kind of like you'll have this new experience of like, wow, all of this stuff was just there all along, just waiting. And there is just so much more to the world and to the universe than I was paying attention to or that I was aware of. Okay. Yeah, lots of sixes. 42, that's a six. The Lovers, that's a six. Six of Bows. It's really good. It just represents harmony to me. And the last card you pulled is Kuan Yin in reverse. So yeah, like I said before, I feel like some of you guys, this could be, inspired from you feeling like you want to be more generous out in the world, or you want to be more philanthropic. Maybe you have reawakened like a love for just your community, just the community in the world, right? Maybe you are more aware of what other people are going through and you feel like the gifts that you have could help them. That's a beautiful thing. Just don't let yourself get discouraged, because if you're feeling that way, it's for a reason, right? It's divinely guided, like I said before. But let's see what it says in the book. Are you feeling overwhelmed by all the suffering in the world and you can't imagine how you could make a difference? Do you feel hopeless over how we treat nature and each other? The goddess Kuan Yin knows that this is an important time of reckoning and reordering, but wants you to be careful not to fall into a pit of despair. If you allow the media to fill your mind with a constant barrage of what's wrong in the world, you will become numb and unable to move. The good news is in your alignment task. First, focus your mind locally. Your choice is not to save the whole world, but to bring your attention to where you can help. Even the smallest step toward a greater compassion is huge. Educate yourself about cultural issues and be better and more conscious and sensitive about your choices. Lend a helping hand to someone in need. Volunteer your time and choose one act of random kindness daily to help alleviate suffering. Do what you can and make that count. Always ask in your work, your relationships, and in your community, how will what I do serve others well? Remember, if you don't get it right, you can always course correct. With commitment, you will add more beauty to the world. Everyone is learning right now, and Kuan Yin reminds you to be kind to yourself too, as you accept your role in birthing a new world into being. Right, you're awakening. A lot of people are awakening, and I feel like that awakening can bring your awareness to where other people are in need, and you guys probably feel very enthusiastic, like you just want to get going, like you just want to help everyone that you meet. Remember the hermit, remember your time for introspection so that you can really hone in on how you specifically can help the whole, because you have a special gift that is going to help elevate the consciousness of the people around you and beyond. You never know. Even when you could smile at somebody on the street and they take that and maybe they really needed that smile, and then that changes their day, and then they change someone else's day, and so on and so forth. You never know. You do not have to affect everyone all at once. One person at a time is enough, okay? You don't have to get overzealous and you don't have to feel overwhelmed. There's time, okay? Your time is here. And I feel like you guys are doing such a good job already, just coming to these realizations and trying something new. And it's going to bring you such abundance, right? Because you have such good vibes. You are surrounding yourself with such positivity. It's going to just, like with these sixes, it's going to keep just bringing abundance to you. And the more that you give, the more you will receive. Okay? So that's all I've got for you, group number 2. It's amazing. I'm so excited for you guys. Let me know what you got going on down below. I'd really love to hear it. Thank you so much for spending your time and your energy with me. I really appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye. Hey, group number 3, those of you who chose blue goldstone. Okay, that makes so much sense because I feel like a lot of you guys, if not all of you, are artists. I feel like some of you may be performers of some kind, maybe you're musicians or uh, actors even, but either way, I feel a lot of creative energy from you guys, and I think that you have gone against the grain and it's paying off. So I'm feeling like where your money is concerned, it's looking really good. And part of why it's looking so good to me is because your money is coming from your own efforts, your own business, maybe. I just feel like you guys are either wanting to be or you are already your own boss. And that's really, if it hasn't paid off for you in the way that you want it to yet, it is going to. The first card you pulled is the Four of Bows or the Four of Wands upright. It's a card of celebration. It's like you've put in this work, you've given it your all, you've gone on this amazing journey, and now you're just feeling good and confident, and it's like it's your time to shine. Like you are, like for me, like 4 is a very stable, secure number. So it's like, you're at this point where you're good. Like it's fabulous. Like you can just really kind of take a step back and look at what you've done and be proud. And like I said, if this success hasn't happened yet, it is coming, it is assured. And it's, like I said, what makes it so special to me is that I feel like it's coming from you, being your own boss in life. Even if you do still have a boss, like I feel like whatever it is, this success is coming directly from you and your efforts. Now, where this gets a little tricky, you guys, is I feel like some of you guys may be, especially for those of you who I'm correct on, and you really are, like, you're an entrepreneur, you're a performer or something, you are your own, compass in life, you are your own authority figure. When you are in such a position of just power over self, that can be really intimidating to people who are not in the same position, or who don't feel like they have the confidence to do so, but they really wish they could be like you, but they don't want to admit it. Like, the next card you pulled is the Three of Arrows, uh, which is the Three of Swords in traditional tarot. And in this deck, it's called Jealousy. And that's what I'm feeling from this. I feel like, Three of Swords is kind of like a sad card. It can connote, times of just loss, or just, it's just sad. It's like, going through a rough patch, like feeling like, something didn't work out for you or something. But I don't really feel like that's what's going on with you guys. Maybe for some of you. And if that's the case, it's not going to, I promise you, it's not going to last. When you are such a boss, and when you are really taking the reins over your own life, inevitably things happen, but you are going to get through that. Your success and your happiness is assured. So just remember that. But I feel like for most of you, this is about jealousy, like it says. This is about you getting to this point where you're like, you took a risk, you took a bet on yourself, you took a chance on yourself, you believed in yourself, and it came through. And you might be around people, maybe it's family members, maybe it's like frenemies, whatever, who cannot be happy for you because they feel, inadequate in themselves or their own lives. Like, they're not happy in what they have, so they can't be happy for you. So, and if you are an artist, you are probably very sensitive to that type of things, right? As artists, we are very sensitive. So when people are like, you know, I feel like, there's a lot of the energy that people have of like, I don't care about haters, and, I want haters and like all of that stuff. But I just feel like human nature is that when we are happy, we want people to be happy for us. And when they're not, we start questioning ourselves and start wondering like what's going on. And especially if you take that attitude and you start internalizing what people may be saying to you about your success, like if people are making like snide remarks like, well, this isn't gonna last, and like, well, what's your backup plan, or like, anything like that, please do not take that to heart. It is simple and pure jealousy. Send them love and light and get away. Like, move on from that. Because I feel like, for some of you guys, you may not be like exactly where you want to be yet, but I feel like you've taken these steps, and like there's like, it's almost like that feeling of, you just got signed to your dream record label. You aren't necessarily like on the charts yet, or maybe you don't have your album hasn't come up out yet, or maybe you haven't gone on your first tour yet, but it's like just that feeling of, I'm on my way. That's what I feel like with this. And when you get on your way, inevitably it's like, sometimes a bright light attracts bugs. So you might attract some bugs, and people who are trying to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Get away from those people, even if it's just for a little while. Or as soon as people start saying those types of things to you, leave the room, or just be like, oh, like, I gotta go to the bathroom, or like, or you can be more assertive and be like, I really just, I am unable to receive the negativity that you are trying to give to me right now. So one of us is going to, have to end the conversation, and I'm just going to go ahead and take the initiative to do that right now, because you don't need this kind of energy. You are beginning your journey, and there are, like I said, you may not have that, like, you may not be rich yet. So you're trying to get there, but there's like this promise. There's such promise. So don't allow the negativity to cloud your judgment, or to get you to start going backwards, right? We're moving forwards. The next card you pulled is the Queen of Stones, or the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So with this, it's kind of like, it makes sense to me that it's next to here, like it's in order. It's like, okay, so you've got the thing, whatever it is that's showing you that you're on the right track. And then maybe you have some naysayers. And so now you're realizing, like, maybe you thought before, like, I'm doing this for everybody, but now you're realizing, like, no, I've got to do this for me. I got to focus on me. I got to take care of me, because I am the only one who's going to be able to make my dreams happen. All right. Queen of Pentacles in traditional tarot, upright. She's thinking about others. She's nurturing to others. She's taking care of others. So in reverse, that's letting me know, like, it's your time to take care of you, because you've got things to do. Like I said, I feel like a lot of you guys are artists in some capacity. So you've got to work on your craft. You've got to practice. You've got to study, whatever it is, and you've got to make moves for you, right? Don't let anybody distract you from the work that you've got to be doing for you right now. Okay. And then might be reprioritization. If you've got like a partner or, friends who are asking for your time and you just really can't give it, sit them down and tell them, like, I love you. I care about you. I care about our relationship, but I'm on my grind right now and I really got to focus. I really hope you understand and stay with me on this journey, right? Just ask them, be honest. And the people who can't take that, you already know, like, that's okay. Well, I got to let you go. It's going to be difficult, but your priority is making your dreams come true and making these things happen, because, like, I'm seeing lots of, it's just like so fiery, and then there's this green that's reminding me of money. Like, I feel like I said, your success is assured. You just, you've got to put in this time, and really, now that like, you're on the right path, you've got to commit to it. I'm not telling you to completely ignore everybody that you love in your life. I'm just telling you, have an honest conversation with them and let them know this is where your focus is at right now. Okay? The next card you pulled is allowance, which is funny because to me it's like, okay, this is definitely saying part of manifesting is allowing things to happen, right? Part of manifesting is not being too preoccupied with outcomes, because you don't always know how things will look. You can have an intention behind your desire, but how it comes to you is not really up to you. It's not really within your control. So this is telling you, like, do not get too nitpicky and do not get too control freakish. You know what I mean? Like, let the universe send you your blessings however it may. But it also reminds me of, like, literally when you're a kid, and some of us got allowance from our parents. So like I said, this green is really reminding me of money. But the card says, the frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. Right, okay. So for some of you who are musicians, this is kind of like, it reminds me of, like, okay, say you just got signed to your dream label or something, and it could be like a small indie label, whatever, but you're like in talks about a tour, and say, they're trying to tell you, like, okay, we're going to send you to these small places, and so you can feel it out and get used to it. And then you start thinking, but I want to play stadiums. You know what I mean? Like, this is kind of letting me know that, like, you guys need to remember that, like I said before, let the universe send you your blessings, and understand that the form in which they come to you is like the best form for you at that point in time, right? So don't shoot yourself in the foot by being upset about if you had an expectation and then this looks another kind of way. Really kind of have an attitude of gratitude and have an attitude of allowing things to come to you. Just get yourself in the state of receiving. All right. The next card you pulled is perception, which really ties lovely into the allowance. All that you see, right? It's about your perception. You are labeling and categorizing your life. It doesn't necessarily mean you're right or wrong. So especially if you ever get discouraged or have have yourself feeling thoughts of self-doubt, challenge that perception. And remember that you still have, you always have more things to learn and more ways to go. You are not dead yet. So it's not over, right? It's like, yes, celebrate this new beginning or this new path or this affirmation that you are on the right track. Yes, celebrate it, but don't forget, like, there's still more to go, there's still more to learn. Okay? It says, the frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Yeah, and this is also telling me, for those of you who are artists and creatives, this is also telling you, level up with your creativity, get experimental, stay true to who you are. But if you are in a pocket, if you are in like too much of a comfort zone, allow yourself out to breathe every now and again. Okay? It'll enhance your artistry and your creativity. Okay? And the last card you pulled is perfect. That's how I know some of you are musicians and actors. Saraswati, mastery. Study, practice, do your thing. Do not rest on your laurels. You are immensely talented, but there's always room to grow. Let's see what it says in the book. Mastery is a genuine sense of effortless knowledge after a period of dedicated immersion. The Hindu goddess Saraswati asks you to enter her domain of art, language, knowledge, music, and poetry, and make this commitment to go the distance. Immerse yourself, body, mind, and spirit, in discovering all aspects of what is at hand. Learn and then learn more. Right now, if you adopt the role of apprentice and are willing to devote your heart and mind to something, you will become a true master. Deep wisdom knows only continuous learning. No matter what question you've come to explore, the goddess Saraswati reminds you that the pursuit of mastery is never ending, so enjoy every minute of it. Right, master your craft. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is you're trying to make money off of, master it. And also educate yourself around the financial matters that have to do with your chosen path, okay? Because I feel like, money is absolutely energy, and it really feels different depending on where it's coming from. So for you guys, your creative endeavors, like, this can get very dynamic. It can get very, the money can be just as creative as you are. So start learning about your finances in this way, in this position. I don't know specifically what it is that your craft is, but I do feel like a lot of you are musicians or actors or performers of some kind. So find mentorship, or just, teach yourself about how to be smart with your money, because I feel like you guys are going far. And if you approach your craft, your chosen path, your chosen career with the attitude of a student, really, the limit does not exist. Okay? Wow, how exciting. All right, group number 3, that's all I've got for you guys. Let me know down below what you've got going on. If you are an artist, I want to know. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy with me. I really appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye. Hey, group number 4, those of you who chose pyrite. Okay, so you guys, I know you guys just started something new, or you want to start something new. It's going to work out. It's going to be up to you. Whatever it is that if it's a new project, a new job, or if you want to pursue your passion in life, like start a new business or some kind of entrepreneurial thing, or whatever it is, this new idea that you have. It's good. You're on the right track. Awesome. But it might take more time than what you're used to, especially if you're used to, a regular job where you go in, you do the hours, and you get a check every 2 weeks or what have you. Like, if you were so used to that work reward type of thing, then this new venture that you are eager to go on may come as a bit of a shock to you when you find Sometimes it's going to be like work, 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 and you're waiting for a reward. It can be a bit of a waiting game when you are trying to pursue your passion, because things tend to take a little bit more time. It's not as instantaneous as just a regular 9 to 5 is, right? You're not working for somebody else's dream, you're working for yours. So it just might be that much more challenging, or you might just need that much more energy and time put into it. So I just want to warn you guys of that, because I feel positive energy towards your finances. I just feel like you guys have to remain grounded and don't get discouraged just at any sign of a hiccup or a challenge, okay? But the first card you've pulled is Ace of Bows, or Ace of Wands in traditional tarot, Spark of Life. So look at that. That is letting me know, like, yeah, you have this new idea, new project, new opportunity, and you really want to go for it. And Spirit is saying, yeah, go for it, but you just got to be smart. You have to realize that, like, this is the spark, but it's going to be up to you to keep the fire going. Okay? You've got to keep feeding that fire, fueling yourself to keep it going, all right? Especially if this is entrepreneurial and like it's a startup, or like, you don't have all of your I's dotted and your T's crossed. Like, it's the very beginning stages. So this is letting me know, like, you have good ideas, you are on the right track. You just, that spirit, that spark, you've got to maintain it. Okay, you've got to keep fueling it. The next card you pulled is the Page of Arrows, or the Page of Swords. So, right, with this new idea, with this new venture, you're also finding new ways to express yourself. With this page, I feel like, it's very early stages, very early stages. So, educate yourself about whatever it is that you are trying to go for, okay? Like, really, really come at it from a very smart angle, all right? Like, go over everything, okay? Be curious. Like, I feel like this is very curious energy. Like, follow through with that curiosity and find out, okay? If you're wondering about something, go find out. Seek out the information, all right? Because this is awesome. This is very exciting energy. It's like, oh yeah, like, we're gonna do this thing. Like, I just came up with this thing. Oh my God, I think this is good. Like, yes, it is. Educate yourself, okay? This is in its infancy. So really nurture it and build, all right? So that it's sturdy and long lasting. Because the next card you've got is the Seven of Stones, or Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So, this is a card to me that's about like hard work, In reverse, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, don't get discouraged if it doesn't come as easily as you thought, or if you don't see rewards right away. If you're just starting a business and nobody knows who you are, you may not, possibly a miracle could happen, but you just may not get all of the money that you need right away. So I would say, if you do have a current job that you are in, stay there for as long as you can and save until you can really start reaping the rewards from all the hard work that you put in on this new project or this new opportunity. And please make sure that, you've got a plan in place and some cushion, because I feel like it can be very alluring to just leave it all behind and go for this thing and have so much faith in it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, you should most definitely, but it's just going to take time. Like that, the company that you currently work for, that you've worked for in the past, or whatever 9 to 5 thing that you've ever had, like that place took time to get there. So will your project, so will your dream, okay? It'll take time, and that time is worth the wait, right? The rewards, they're worth the wait. But I don't want you to get discouraged and not want to wait if you expect so much right away, okay? It's going to take some time. It's going to take some hard work, but it'll be more rewarding work because it's like for your passion, it's for your dream. You're not working for somebody else's dream anymore. You're working on yours, and that makes it just that much more worthwhile. Okay? But save your money, be smart, have a plan, and do all your research. Get curious about everything, okay? You've got a great new idea, but you've just really create a solid foundation for it so that it can really fly, really take off. This is a bird right on the branch, right? Like he's about to just go. So put in the work so that you really have those wings. All right? The next card you pulled is Earth. So I suggest this often, but specifically with you guys, when you're thinking about these new ideas, when you're going over whatever it is in your head, go for a walk outside. If you can, go to the park and like just feel the grass underneath your bare feet. Get grounded. Do some grounding meditations, listen to some grounding frequencies, because this energy can kind of like put your head in the clouds, which is a beautiful feeling, but it's also like we still got to do this work, right? So make sure that you remain grounded so that you don't burn yourself out and you don't get, like I said before, discouraged. But what the card says is the frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to this physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our Great Mother and revealing the more ethereal, spiritual aspects of our nature. Right. So through grounding, through connecting with the earth, I feel like you will also tap into kind of the magic that is here, that is available to us, right? Remembering like where you came from, where, like what creative life force birthed you, and that you can use to channel into your own projects, right? To give birth to your own dream. Okay. The next card you pulled is Third Eye Chakra. So your intuition is definitely at play here. Follow your gut, follow your instincts. What you are doing probably hasn't been done yet. Even if somebody has similar dreams, that wasn't you. So I definitely want you to educate yourself, and I definitely want you to get organized and, do everything that you need to do, put in that work. But I also want you to remember to follow your instincts and follow your gut. This is your dream. So your wisdom, your inner wisdom will really guide you. Okay? The card says, the frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination, and our psychic powers. Yeah, you are going to manifest success through this new venture, especially if you make sure that you tap into your own inner compass, your own inner knowing, and use that to also be imaginative. Like I feel like you have these great ideas that haven't been thought of before, or maybe you are bringing something fresh to something that's already been thought of. Use your imagination, maintain it, keep using it, because it's going to guide you to like places that you really couldn't even imagined. Okay, places that you couldn't have imagined could be real. Like they were just, you thought it was all in your head, but it's going to show up in the physical realm, right? In the earthly realm. And it's like these two cards are like coming together, right? And I feel like you guys are definitely manifesting abundance. You just keep your self-doubt in check and maintain self-discipline and patience. Have patience. If it doesn't happen overnight, that doesn't mean it's never going to happen. Okay? And the last card you pulled is Oshun, beautiful, in reverse. That's what she looks like upright. So, like I said before, if it doesn't happen overnight, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So understand that this abundance, this prosperity, this new venture, this business that you're trying to manifest, if you are willing to put in this work and this time, it's happening. Okay? But don't let the time, dishearten you. Okay? Really try to maintain patience. And if you lay the groundwork, you really have nothing to worry about. But let's see what it says in the book. Sometimes you may fall prey to fears about whether you will get what you need. So you worry about money or love, and you begin withholding. You might find yourself being overly restrictive and beginning to hoard for that proverbial rainy day. Do you know you cut off generous Oshun's flow of potential when you allow yourself to be convinced there is not enough? The truth is, when you begin to be miserly with your time, affection, and gifts, you will see little in return as all you begin to notice is what isn't there. In this moment, the goddess Oshun wants to offer you this alignment task. You can't expect the great goddess to be generous with you if you show her you don't trust in the flow of her generosity. Now is the time to do the opposite of what you fear. When you feel there is not enough money, spend it to signal your trust in abundance. If you feel unloved, ask who you can love and where you can show you care. Even a kind gesture made to a stranger sends a sign that you trust in the generosity of the world. Don't wait to get what you want. Give it away to others, and you will be amazed at how things turn around. The goddess Oshun has only your best interests at heart. Yeah, so okay, you guys, you may feel pressure, you may feel stress, maybe you've already started this, and now you're just kind of like, okay, when am I going to start seeing money? When am I going to, I've put more money into this than I've gotten out of it so far. Blah, blah, blah. You might get a little bit stressed out about it. Oshun wants to remind you that that stressful energy is just sending a signal to the universe that you don't believe you got it. But you do, okay? You do. You are safe. You are safe. This is divinely guided. You are meant to follow your passions, okay? As long as you are being smart about it, as long as you're maintaining organization, as long as you are putting everything you got into this, right? You are good. And, you don't have to spend all of your money. But when you start feeling like you don't have enough money, spend your money on something that's worthwhile. Like maybe, if you start feeling like, oh, I don't have money, spend the money you do have on some nice groceries for yourself or thank you card. You probably didn't get here alone. So if you've had help along the way, if there have been people who believed in your dream just as much as you did, go get them a 99-cent thank you card and just like write your feelings in it. Like she said, generosity, giving. Giving doesn't necessarily have to be you buy, a gift basket for people. Like it can be very small and just from the heart, and it will go a long way, okay? So remember to just keep fueling this fire, okay? Maintain that spark, educate yourself, keep growing, keep learning, do the work, get grounded, follow your intuition, follow your heart, and be generous with your heart. Be generous with your dream. Okay? That's all I've got for you guys. Group number 4. Thank you so much for spending and sharing your time and energy with me. I really appreciate it. The magic in me honors the magic in you. Be well. Bye.